Okay, yes, I know. I missed last week. I'm fucking sorry, okay? Can we kind of get over that right now? Can we get over that? Can we do the intro? Can we get into the show today? Fuck it, let's just do it. Go. What is going on, everybody? It's your oh so glorious, beloved MaceValor, here with MVP, the MaceValor podcast, episode 3. Missed last week. Also, just to get this out of the way real quick, so I said on my Patreon that I would disclose anything and everything. If any money came in, I would let the audience know. And not a single penny has come in. I don't have a single Patreon yet, which I don't fucking blame you guys, because there's some stuff that I've been saying that I need to fulfill on. There are some things on my end that I need to give you guys. It's some stuff I have been working on, and I've actually been putting a lot of time and effort into this, and I'm pretty much done. I want to say within the next week that video will come out, and when that video does come out, that will be the new standard for this channel. That's not going to be the only thing on this channel. That's just going to be the standard. That's going to be the stuff that people are actually going to be going for. That's what's going to drive progression on this channel, is the kind of content that's going to be coming out within a week. I already have all the footage already taken care of, pre-edited. I got some voiceover stuff I've got to do. Finishing up editing some script work that I've been working on. It's going to be great. It's going to be fucking tits. I promise. It's video game related. It's video game related. So if you didn't subscribe to me for that, the unsub button is down there somewhere. Anyway, crazy shit going on, y'all. It's been an interesting 2 weeks, I would say, for the most part. Now, I haven't really publicly stated this. I've mentioned it here and there, but I've never actually came out and said it. So I'll say it here, and I'll say it now. I'm your oh-so beloved and glorious MaceValor, and this shall be my press release for the day. I got kicked out of Amazon Flex. Terminated. Got hit with the ban hammer. To a degree, I guess you could say it was warranted. But at the same time, though, let me just say this. When I was doing Amazon Flex, for a long period of time, I had a shitty phone. It was a very cheap, very basic phone running an older version of Android on Metro PCS. So it was the LG K20 Plus, if anyone wants to check it out. I was using that phone, and I had a lot of issues with it. And I did a transition. I fixed my Galaxy Note 5 myself. It's not perfect, but it functions for the most part. So it's all good to go. And I didn't have any issues once I switched over. However, the problem I had on the LG K20 Plus is the app was up to date, but it wasn't entirely compatible with that particular version of Android. I want to believe it was Android 6.0 or something like that. Don't know specifically. I don't even have that phone on me to even check it. But what would happen is I would have a block, something would come up, you're allotted so much time prior to your block to cancel. However, within the app, it would not allow me to cancel said block. So instead, I would email well enough ahead of time. I would email customer support and let them know, driver support, technical, whatever, right? Nothing back from them. And I've talked about this before. Trying to get a hold of anyone on Amazon Flex is a struggle. It's difficult. Trying to talk to anyone. You always get these automated messages or whatever. I didn't get anything back. I took the emails that I had originally sent. I did screenshots of them, and when I got terminated, it said, "Hey, you need to find proof of why you were terminated. These were days that you missed, and that's a reason why that it's not the reason that why we're getting rid of you, but we just need the email." Anyway, so I just had to provide proof that, hey, you missed these days, why, right? And I said, hey, well, these are the emails I sent. I didn't miss any days once I switched phones, so what's, this is the proof. Like, I emailed you guys and let you guys know there's a problem with the phone, the app's not working, with this particular version of Android that I'm running, even though it says it's compatible, like with the app and on the site and all that shit. It says it should work. It doesn't work properly for this particular function. I didn't hear anything back from them. They sent another email after I provided the proof saying essentially the same thing again. We need you to reply back with proof within these days. I replied back with the same screenshots, the same information. It didn't work out, and I just kind of let it go. So now I've been doing Postmates, I've been doing DoorDash, and I have my own grievances, I have my own whatevers about all of that. So, and I would love to talk about it with DoorDash guy if he ever gets a hold of me. So, DoorDash guy, if you actually ever watch this, hit me up. Let's do this podcast. I'm still in it. I'm still good for it. Nice shout out to Gig Stacker. Hopefully you're doing good, bud. I know it's been a little while. Everyone's been busy all over the place. Whatever. It's life. It happens. It's cool. But kind of going back to the Patreon thing, just to preface this out real quick. I don't have any Patreons yet, and that's fine. I get it. It's cool because I haven't delivered on my end, which I'm going to. Of course I'm going to. No fucking problem. I'm going to. It's a process. A lot of the times I'm really busy doing this whole life thing, making money, doing the whole gig economy thing to, as a way to generate revenue. So if I'm not doing that, I'm hanging out with the family and all this shit. So I am working on the video. It will be out. It's pretty much almost done. I just got to finish compiling a couple things and it will be good to go. I am really taking my time on it because I'm actually really fucking proud of it. There are some things I could be doing with it to increase production quality. I am recording it with this mic, so the video that you're going to see, the audio might be however the audio is here. So that could be good, that could be bad, who knows? But I think it could be beneficial to the actual video, add a nice little layer of depth to it. Anyway, I digress. So, but I did say that any of the money that I get will, from my Patreon stuff, it's transparent. And now, since I don't have any money from Patreon, I don't have any receipts or anything to give. Now, I did receive back before my ban, I'm not allowed to stream on YouTube, which really sucks because I enjoy streaming on YouTube or for Twitch because I have a fan base on YouTube. When I stream on YouTube, people actually come in. On Twitch, it's like I get those lurkers, I get the onesies and twosies that filter in and out. And I don't get as many people very often because you need to it's a marathon, not a race. So, and I haven't really been streaming as much lately. Kind of just been, like I said, just been like whatever, all over the place. But I do try to shoot for 8 p.m. But that's probably going to change. Once some things happen, I'm going to get a set schedule and all that jazz. However, this podcast is kind of going to be all over the place. There's a few different things I definitely want to talk about, things I really want to kind of get out there in the world. But I did want to finish up with this. So when I was streaming on YouTube, I did receive a donation from good old Gig Stacker. He sent $1 my way, and that went out over through Patreon, which was dope. Or no, that went through PayPal. That went through PayPal, and PayPal took their cut, so it was like 67 cents or something like that. And then someone also did a $5 donation. I just wish I could remember the fucking dude's name. I totally ill prepared. I'm off the cusp, you know me. So I got a $5 donation, which is cool, and he, I guess, did it through his credit card or whatever. And the way it works in Streamlabs, it says like, oh, you got a $5 donation from this person. Okay, cool. That money has never made it to my bank account. I have all my bank information set up there, so I have no idea where that $5 is. I've never received it. Not the end of the world, but for sake of transparency, I kind of have to let people know, like, hey, I want to let you know what I'm going to be doing with the money that I'm getting. So with 60-something cents, obviously that money has to kind of go back into the channel. That is the premise of all of this. So what have I done with that 67 cents? I'm pretty sure it was 67 cents from that donation from GigStacker after the PayPal fees. I always have to account for the fees and everything. No idea. It's just sitting in the account, essentially. I haven't really touched it. I probably need to get a jar, and every time money is brought in from either a one-time donation, stream donations, whether it comes in from Patreon, I probably should just get a fucking jar and put money in the jar. So you guys can fucking see, here's the fucking money. Once I spend it, then I'll have the fucking receipts to show you guys. Because people have bitched. When Philip DeFranco did his whole DeFranco Elite thing, when he did that, people wanted to complain why he hid the the amount. Now he has all. I mean, he's. It's not just like he's an individual. He has a company, and I'm not saying, by no means am I saying that should Patreons be required to show their Patreons, like their patrons, what they're spending the money on. No, I don't think it should be a requirement. It's just something that I choose to do for my audience. I like to hold myself accountable, and of course, as if I got money in from it, of course, I would hell, it would be beneficial to use that money towards my own life. However, I'm about building a brand. I'm about building MaceValor. That's what I'm all about. So why would I want to take that money and go blow it on some stupid shit? And if I could just use it for production stuff. So I have kind of gone out of pocket. I bought another like table thing in here, but it basically just accumulates a bunch of fucking trash because I'm a fucking slob. But that was out of my own pocket. I do like going down to Goodwill. Goodwill's fucking awesome. Now I don't have like the best monitors in the world, but I do have two monitors. Uh, they're not the best, but they work fucking great. You know, I love having two monitors. It makes streaming like a million times fucking easier. I did try streaming before with just the one monitor, and it's like unless you have the game in window mode, which is just fucking distracting as fuck, you can't see the fucking chat. And then hell, like I've tried using Twitch's app, so it's like, oh, you can interact with your chat from your phone, and that's never been useful for me. The chat never syncs up or anything like that, or if the screen times out, then the chat that did come through kind of just disappears for whatever fuck all reason. Oh yeah, I should probably mention I should tone down the swearing. In I do think I should. I'm not gonna lie, to kind of be a little bit more serious about stuff. In the podcast, no, that's never going to go away. In the actual video content that I produce, I am going to tone down the cursing. And that's just for because I'm trying to find a way to describe it. It's because a lot of people don't seem to like cursing, as I'm seeing more and more and more. And I don't have like statistics or demographics, but just from what I've seen in my comment section, people like my content. They like the arguments proposed, but I guess cursing's offensive. Um, I just see it as twofold. Cursing to me has always been if you can curse properly, then that just shows that you have an excellent vernacular. If you can do it properly. 9 times out of 10, the way I do it is because I'm lazy. I use it in the most common, least common denominator fashion, and that is for emphasis. I curse to emphasize the point of which I'm making. I don't curse in a way that, as a strain of vocabulary, enhances the overall argument. I do it to just emphasize a singular point, and that backfires. Obviously, it makes me look like fucking trash, right? Um, Easier said than done. I curse for the sake of cursing. I don't curse for the sake of uh, addition or whatever. I just don't do shit properly when it comes to cursing. So, oh, dude, I love fucking Twitter, dude. Check this out, Marquise Brownlee. I'm pretty sure it's Marquise, because every time people I was listening to Star Talk Radio, and fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson kept calling him Marcus, I believe, and but every time like he's been in an interview and I've heard him with people, he's like, it's Marquise or Marquez. There we go. Yeah, he's uploading right now. So obviously, when I get done with this, that should be all uploaded, and I can watch MKBHD while I put this together and get ready to fucking load. So sorry that I missed last week. It was just kind of fucking crazy, man. It was just crazy. So I did mention that I've been doing Postmates. I don't think it's that bad. Um, it's hit and miss. If All right, let's say for example, if you're interested in driving for Postmates, right? You don't get for at least out here in Vegas, the minimum for your delivery is $4. So no matter what, you're gonna get a minimum of $4. The rest you're working on for tips. But what I've noticed is you can't kind of see where you're going, which is kind of a drawback. I mean, with all of these gig economy things, per different thing that you use, there's going to be a plus and minus, no matter what. every single time there's going to be that curve of, well, this is better than this one, but this particular one has this feature and this one operates that way. uh, I mean, I do like Postmates for the most part. I don't like DoorDash because one of the things about them is that their driver support's not very solid, just like with Amazon. With Postmates, it's non-existent. Like today I did one, and I picked up this delivery. I picked up this delivery from this barbecue place, uh, wonderful barbecue place over by Target, and I go to drop it off, and the dude didn't fucking the dude didn't he specified the address, but it was an office building. He never specified which office. Now I knew well, the office number. He never specified the office number. I knew the um I knew the dude. What the hell is wrong with me? I knew the the company. I knew the company. Uh, I just didn't know the office number, so I didn't know what floor it was on, and it was like a 7-story. Well, maybe I don't want to exaggerate. Let's say it was a 5-story building. So I get in, and that business Switch. It's what they do, like servers and shit like that. It's a tech company basically. So I go in looking for this place. I don't see it on any of the maps for the building or anything like that. So I would have had to like been searching all over and it was a pretty sizable office building. I start looking around on the first floor, can't find any directory for it, and I text the guy, "Hey, I'm here. I just need to know your information. I need to know where exactly I'm going." Nothing. Text him again, like a minute later. Nothing. And I know there can be a delay. But I'm kind of like, hey, I need to get you your food because that was for a Postmates order. I actually had a DoorDash order waiting in my car that was way on the other end of town. See, I picked up the Postmates and the DoorDash place because the DoorDash place was right here, and then I got pinged for Postmates, which was right across the street. And I was like, I'm already here for this. I'll go pick up this one, and then hopefully I'll get lucky and it'll kind of be on the way. No, not at all. The Postmates one was way the fuck away. Way the fuck away. In the opposite direction of the one I needed to go for DoorDash. So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll just do it. But I picked up the Postmates one first, but the food that was picked up was cold. It was like sushi. Well, like a burrito sushi fusion, whatever hipster crap it was. So I picked that up, and then I'm like, all right, that's the DoorDash one. I'll drop that one off second. I'm gonna take the one that's hot. I'm gonna go deliver that first. And because with DoorDash, you know what you're getting paid ahead of time. That's kind of the cool thing about it is they tip before you deliver. So there's no incentive. That's the thing on my vision of tipping with DoorDash. There's no incentive for me to be a good driver for DoorDash because I know what I'm getting paid ahead of time. I know that this person tipped roughly this much because the minimum I should get for my delivery is $5. So that tip is whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll deliver that one. I know I'm getting paid $9 for it, like automatically. That sucks for them. I know it does, but that's just the nature of being a driver and having to do the gig economy thing. We have to make these tough calls and we have to stack shit like this. And it's unfortunate, but it's just the nature of the fucking beast. So I go to deliver the Postmates one. The dude, I go to the office building, can't find him, text him, call him multiple times, and you have to wait a certain amount of time before you say, hey, fuck it, I can't do it. There's no driver support for me to contact. There's just a button that says no one available, and it says you have to wait until this time. And if they're still not there, then just let us know, and then we'll have to call them on our own. So I get paid for it. I still get paid for it because I still did the delivery. It knows my GPS location. It knows that I'm where I'm supposed to be, and it's like I was here. I texted you. I called you. You threw me a voicemail after so many calls. You didn't text me back. It's like you knew that you had food coming. If you look at the app, you can see that my GPS location is the same place that you are. At that point, like I know I'm a delivery person. I know that I'm a courier. I'm working for this company, bringing the food that you want to you, the food that you paid for. I'm bringing it to you. But I have no sympathy when you're at work, you have a lunch break. I'm at work doing this. This is my job. I've got other shit I need to be doing. I'm not going to sit here and wait for an hour just to fucking find you. Okay? I tried to get a hold of you, could not get a hold of you, had no idea. And here's the thing, a lot of these office buildings, they just had numbers. They didn't have the actual name of the company on the fucking doors. The majority of them in this place. So, because there's people down there, and I said, hey, do you know which office Switch works out of? And they said, I have no idea. Why? Because in this particular office building, a lot of things weren't advertised. They just had the office number, the suite numbers. This wasn't like a place where people normally come into. It's pretty much like an employee only kind of thing, to where it's not all branded out in the open. So I can't have sympathy for the fact that, like, oh, the time came up, not here. We'll contact the customer. Thank you. You're still going to get paid. So what does that mean? The customer gets charged for the delivery. The customer gets charged for their food, but they don't receive their food. That sucks. I would hate it as a customer if that happened. However, the fact that I, the driver, tried to reach out to you and you refused to get a hold of me, I tried to let you know that there was an issue. I tried to communicate with you to get you your product. You did not, knowing that you were having food come, because you ordered it, knowing that you were having food come, did not decide to let me know what the hell is going on. That's on you. I did what I had to do on my end. So, does it suck? Yes. But am I upset about it? Do I feel bad? No. Not even a little bit. So what happens? You take that food home or you throw it away. I took it home, fed it to my girlfriend because she loves barbecue. Boyfriend of the Year award right there. That's what I did. So I just had to let that out because this internal thing in my head is like, dude, that really sucks because I'm a consumer as well. I might be a courier, but I have actually utilized Postmates before. And, as a consumer, as a user of the platform on the other end, I mean, obviously, like I said before, if you guys heard this in my other podcast, I will never use Postmates for delivery ever again. For reasons you can look back in the other podcasts that I spoke about, but holy shit. But I understand it doesn't eat me up, but it does make me think. It does make me go, there's that part of me that's like, damn, dude, you probably should have just sat there and waited. You probably shouldn't have taken on more orders than you could have handled. You should have just done. And it's like, no. No. It's like, I'm just going on and on. I'm proud to be in America. Damn proud. Because when I look at the rest of the world and I see certain things that certain countries and people that live in certain countries have to go through, it's pretty messed up. I'm gonna try to stick to the first world. Okay. Third world stuff, it's all sad shit. It is. But there's nothing I can do about it. Oh well. Let's talk about the first world. Let's talk about the UK. There's this thing I've been looking, because I do this thing where some weird shit in YouTube's algorithm will fucking pop up. I won't even search. It just pops up based upon recommendations. We think you should watch this. I'll check it out. And then the rabbit hole ensues. So lately, this rabbit hole that I've been into, at least for the last 12 hours, has been the BBC TV licensing. So essentially what TV licensing is, if you watch BBC programs, if you watch them live, or if you record them, or if you watch these programs on their iPlayer, like a online streaming service, whatever, then you have to have a TV license for that. That's essentially what it is. And for BBC, what BBC does is they hire people and they send people out everywhere, not just to people that like verbatim have, they have proof that they use these services or whatever. They just send people out, like just fucking door people to any and every house, because any and every house has a TV. All they have to do is be like, oh shit, you have a TV? All right, well we need to come in, we need to check it out, we need to make sure it works and everything. And these people are like, they're just people doing a job, but they're a part of something that that's really shitty, really shady. And I've been watching a lot of these videos of people being like just outright harassed by the people that work for BBC that are going around to these random houses essentially, and they're like, hey, we're gonna get a search warrant. We need to search your house. Like they want to get in your house so bad to verify that you do not use your TV because you can own a TV. You just can't watch it. That's the thing though. There's that doesn't happen in America. Now, don't get me wrong though. The what is it? The Federal Communications Commission, they can go out and they can do their little scanners and shit and see if anyone's illegally tapping into the cable system or anything like that. They can do that, no problem. They can see if people are, getting stuff that they shouldn't be for free. But the main thing in America is, our cable situation is shitty. It is. But I have looked at other countries, their internet providers, their cable providers, and a lot of the TV providers in other countries are a lot worse than in America. Does it suck in America? Yes, but I am so glad that I'm not getting harassed on the daily by this whole TV licensing thing. They want me to pay fines. They want me to pay a yearly subscription to this thing that I'm never going to use just because they feel like they have to. And this is all reinforced by the fact that it's signed into law that that's the way it's going to be over in these countries. In these other countries, the companies that run broadcasting have such a foothold with Parliament, with the like Canada and shit. They with UK and Canada especially, they have these footholds in with the government so that these things can be written into law. And that's why I've kind of always been leaning right. I like to say I'm a little bit more in the middle of things, but I do lean right for a lot of things. And one of the things is when it comes to, I don't like a whole lot of government involvement in with companies because you think of that at the top of your head, like, oh, that means the government can regulate the company. No, 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 no. The company's making money. They make an excess amount of money. They can use that money to then fund things within the government to kind of gear them in a particular fashion. You see, if the government were to run commerce essentially, and how commerce is run and operated, the people that put the things into law that the commerce has to abide by, those things can be influenced by the corporations themselves. Now, I am totally for corporations turning a profit. However, if you throw government in the mix, it adds a level of corruption that can be available. You want to talk about corruption? Small government. Let's take a look at one of the smallest forms of government that we possibly can, HOAs. I've always been against an HOA. The idea of an HOA is fantastic. Everyone lives in a community. We all throw our money in together, and we use that money to make sure our community stays nice, it stays clean. There's common areas in the neighborhood, or there's a park in the neighborhood. We make sure that money goes towards keeping that stuff taken care of, or hell, we have people put in enough money. We buy gates so we could put gates around the community, essentially. So when people are trying to come in, it's an enclosed space, so they can't come in here. On paper, it sounds like this great thing. In practice, HOAs are always garbage. And a lot of times, people that are on these HOAs don't even live in these neighborhoods. They might own a house in these neighborhoods, rent it out, but they don't live there anymore. So the effects of that doesn't mean nothing to them. And because it's so small and it's only regulated internally by this small group of people, it is so open to corruption. I have seen more videos of horror stories on YouTube about HOA catastrophes than I could than I can fathom. The fact that this shit's allowed, but it's a prime example of how government can be so easily turned. You come in and you want to do something right for the community, but then you just see an opportunity. You see an opportunity for you to benefit yourself. These people they would fine people in their neighborhood for crazy outlandish things. Like there's people getting fined like, oh, you're not allowed to have fern plants, or you're not allowed to have potted plants in your yards, or you can't plant plants in your backyard. Just stupid, like trivial shit, and they would fine them hundreds of dollars. And it's like, well, then how did you know that was back there? Oh, it's like, oh, well, we were peeking over your fence. Well, invasion of privacy. Why are you peeking over my fence? It's one thing if you can kind of see it. It's like very apparent. You got a fucking ugly ass tree growing and the shit's overhanging from the fence. Take care of that or we'll fine you. Makes sense, right? Me going over and looking over and putting my head, that's reaching, man. That's a bit much. Now, the idea of HOAs I'm perfectly fine with. The actual practice of them doesn't work. It does not work. Now, they can get made to work if HOAs were regulated properly, if they had some sort of checks and balance. To a degree, I guess they do because it is supposed to be an open forum to the community. So if the people that live in the same community that are paying HOA dues want to speak and talk with the committee in the meetings, they should be allowed to do that. A lot of times, the people that are in charge of those meetings, they don't want to hear people going against what they're already doing, so they'll shut people out. And then people will petition for them to like resign, or they'll petition for like, oh, we need to do a what's that? We need to do like a re-election of who's going to be a part of the HOA because you guys aren't running it properly. And the HOA, because they're just a small thing, like, no, we're not going to do an election anytime soon. We probably had one coming up. No, we're just going to skip it because we in here all kind of, because you get these people that kind of come together and like they all like, well, how can we all benefit? Like, we're all in this together. How can we all benefit and fuck over everyone else in our community? It's fucking greed. And I'm not saying that there's a problem with making money. There isn't. There isn't. No, if you can go out there and be successful and make a fucking lot of money, if you can start up a company and make millions of fucking dollars, you've earned that money. I'm perfectly fine with that. But if you just are a part of an HOA and you just siphon money from people that are in your own community, you're fucking cancerous. It just astounds me how that HOA is just that clear picture of government gone wrong on a very small scale. Now, of course, I'm not using the perfect example for this, but I think I'm using the proper analogy at least. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut it short. I've just been speaking, talking, chatting with y'all. A lot has gone on, but I haven't written any notes down this time, so I don't have really any talking points. Just kind of go off the top of my head. But as always, I would love some comments down in the comment section down below. If you would like to ask a question into the podcast, z.valormedia@gmail.com. Throw your questions, comments, concerns up in there because at the end of the podcast, that's where I like to take viewer questions and, kind of just make a discussion, kind of go into stuff. Anyway, as always, this is your oh so beloved and glorious MaceValor, and I'm signing off.